Imagine a betrayal so profound, it shattered the foundations of Western intelligence. A secret network operating at the heart of the British establishment, selling secrets to the enemy for decades. This isn't fiction. This is the chilling true story of the Cambridge Five, a group of highly educated men who pledged allegiance to a foreign power while serving their own nation. Their treason reshaped the Cold War, compromised countless operations, and revealed the terrifying vulnerability of trust at the highest levels of power. Our story begins in the hallowed halls of Cambridge University in the early 1930s. A time of economic hardship and rising fascism across Europe. It was here, amidst intellectual ferment, that a group of bright, disillusioned young men were ideologically drawn to communism and secretly recruited by Soviet intelligence. These were Kim Philby, Guy Burgess, Donald Maclean, Anthony Blunt, and later, John Cairncross. Their names would become synonymous with espionage and betrayal. Kim Philby, the most notorious, joined the secret intelligence service MI6 in 1940, swiftly rising through the ranks. His charm and intellect made him an unlikely suspect. Donald Maclean began his diplomatic career in the Foreign Office. He was posted to the British Embassy in Washington, D.C., gaining access to vital Anglo-American intelligence, especially concerning nuclear weapons development. Guy Burgess, despite his erratic behavior and open homosexuality, found a place in the BBC and later, crucially, in the Foreign Office. His connections provided significant access. Anthony Blunt, an art historian, served in MI5, the counterintelligence agency. His position allowed him to warn his fellow spies of impending investigations and deflect suspicion from their network. John Cairncross, the fifth man, worked in various government departments, including the Foreign Office and MI6. He passed critical information regarding the Enigma decrypts and nuclear secrets. Their handlers, including the formidable Arnold Deutsch, meticulously cultivated these assets, turning them into highly effective conduits for sensitive British and American state secrets. Throughout World War II, they passed countless documents to Moscow, influencing Soviet strategy and potentially saving Soviet lives, but simultaneously betraying Allied trust. As the Cold War escalated, their value to the Soviets intensified. Information on NATO strategy, atomic research, and Western intelligence operations flowed eastward. By 1951, suspicions began to mount. The Venona Project, an American code-breaking effort, started to point fingers, though not directly at the individual agents. Donald Maclean became increasingly unstable, his drinking and public behavior drawing unwanted attention. MI5 net was closing, focusing on him as a prime suspect. On May 25, 1951, just as MI5 prepared to question Maclean, Guy Burgess mysteriously vanished with him. They boarded a cross-channel ferry from Southampton to Saint Malo, France, defecting to the Soviet Union. Their defection sent shockwaves through the West. The implications were catastrophic, confirming deep penetration by Soviet agents and exposing the scale of the infiltration. Kim Philby, despite being a close friend of Burgess, managed to deflect initial suspicion. He was interrogated but maintained his innocence, even passing a lie detector test. However, the shadow of doubt lingered. Philby was eventually forced to resign from MI6 in 1951, though he later returned as an unofficial agent in Beirut. The net tightened further in the early 1960s. New evidence emerged, particularly from Soviet defector Anatoly Golitsyn, finally implicating Philby beyond doubt. On January 23, 1963, Philby, facing imminent arrest in Beirut, made his own dramatic escape aboard a Soviet freighter, joining Burgess and Maclean in Moscow. Anthony Blunt, protected by his royal connections and a secret deal with MI5, continued his life as an art advisor to Queen Elizabeth II until his public exposure in 1979. John Cairncross was identified later, confessing in 1964 but remaining largely unknown to the public until the full extent of the Cambridge Five's operations was revealed. The Cambridge Five's legacy is one of the most damaging espionage rings in history, compromising intelligence for over 3 decades and deeply scarring Anglo-American relations. Their story remains a stark reminder of ideological conviction, moral ambiguity, and the chilling reality of betrayal from within. What do you think drove these men to betray their country? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Cosmic Conquerors for more untold histories, and ring that notification bell.